Welcome to a nutty adventure exploring personal growth and wellness, breaking down the stigma around mental health along the way. Let's dive in because now it's time to show me your nuts.
Good morning, squeaky squirrels. What's up? My name's Stacy Braiuca, the Squirrel Wrangler, and today we're tracking or tackling or talking about one of the biggest tech squirrels that is running around the 2026. We are going to talk about artificial intelligence. Because why not? Everybody else is, right? So who's awake? Who's here? There's people coming in. I knew there was somebody showing up. My suspicion is it's some of the Breakthrough Show Network folk. I appreciate you if that is you. I appreciate you if it's not you. We are in week 4 of cycle 1 of season 2 of Show Me Your Nuts. That's not easy to remember which one that is. But anyway, math. You have to math all over the place for that. But week 4 of cycle 1. Cycle 1 is the awakening. We're talking about the awakening of something you might want to change in your world. And we're talking about different aspects of it every week. Today, our theme is opening our eyes to the tech possibilities and what tech possibilities there are in the world, what tech possibilities impact you, how you feel about them. Because here, Show Me Your Nuts is all about the intersection. It's about mental wellness and stigma, but it's also about the intersection between mental wellness and tech. So here's the truth. You can't change what you don't see. So if you can't see it, you can't change it. If it's not something, and by see, I don't mean like with our eyes. When I say see in that regard, it's you can't change what you're not experiencing. So maybe that's a better way to put it. You can't change what you don't experience. You can't see, you can't hear, you can't feel, you can't, it's not something going on. So if you can't figure it out or can't experience it, and that means you can't change it, or that you don't even know you want to change it for that matter, then, stuff just kind of stay the same. And that's, same is not a bad thing during periods of our lives or for certain things during periods of our lives. But, there's a phrase, and I don't know if it's US centric, but, there's only, 2 things that are for sure, death and taxes. But I really add a third one to that. Death, taxes, and change. Because change happens. It happens around us. It happens within us. We can make it happen within us if we want to, like we can choose it. And but the stuff happening around us that's changing, that's just gonna happen. Like that's part of the way things work. So things are going to change around us, and sometimes that forces us to change, and sometimes our change, well, and yes, actually our changing helps change the things around us. In that regard, what I'm talking about is the idea of, if you throw a pebble in a pond, your action of throwing the pebble in the pond changes the pond. The pond has to change to accommodate the pebble. The first thing it does is the ripples that go out. And those ripples may make changes to micro beings, people, the people on the shore, the beings on the shore. It may make plants float differently, whatever, right? Although what I mean is the metaphorical ripple and, pebble in the pond. So when you throw a pebble in a pond, you do something, there's ripples that come out. The pond, the area, the thing has to change to accommodate you having thrown that pebble. And sometimes it don't like it, but sometimes us all throwing pebbles in the pond at the same time and making big ripples make societal changes. So there's lots of different ways that we interact with change, and that's just inevitable. We interact with change all the time, whether we want to or not, because sometimes it happens because we want to. Sometimes change happens and we're like, oh yes. Like if your bank account changes to the green instead of to the red, we're like, yeah. Especially when you're not expecting it. Sometimes change happens and we don't want it to. And all of those things are important. So we're talking about like change that's going on, and change going on around us right now. One of the big changes technologically is artificial intelligence. So if you can't change what you don't see or don't experience, and we're talking about artificial intelligence, a lot of people right now are just terrified of AI. And they're scared that we can't see the possibilities of it. We don't know what it's going to do. And here's kind of the thing. We never know what any change or anything is going to ultimately do. We don't know what it's going to do, no matter whether it's AI or whether it's, the invention of the printing press, or, MTV playing Video Killed the Radio Star. We don't know what impacts that's going to have ultimately. We don't know what impacts any of our behavior is going to have ultimately, or our choices, decisions, or development of technology. So this isn't a new adventure we're on, but it is a big one, because artificial intelligence has been around and is permeating even more so our daily life, our culture, our doing things. So today, we're going to demystify that AI thing. We're going to try for no jargon. I can't promise. If I put some jargon in, I'll define what I do. Would love it with anybody in the chat if they want to help me, one, to demystify and define things or discuss them. Please, that's what I count on y'all for. Definitely trying to avoid the tech bro speak, because I'm just not about the tech bro and the marketing bros stuff. That's just ridiculous. So I'm going to try and stick with some real talk about AI, what it actually is, what it can do for you, and why you don't need to be afraid of it. And whether you're 25 or 75, whether you're tech savvy or tech terrified, this episode is definitely for you. And it's because your AI is not going to go away, but your fear of it can. So let's wrangle this sucker together. Hello.
Hi, Stacy girl. Listen, I keep hearing about AI everywhere. On the news, from my grandkids, even at the grocery store. But honestly, I don't even know what AI really is. I think of it like, I. Can you explain it to me? Can you explain it to me like I'm, well, like I'm your Aunt Ruth? Talk to you soon. Bye.
Well, that was unexpected. Okay, so Aunt Ruth apparently every once in a while she calls, breaks through the show. We never know what's going to happen when she shows up. So she's been leaving me voicemails all week. And I hadn't gotten to her yet, so I guess I'm going to have to see what it is, what's going on, cuz she's just going to keep blowing up my damn phone. On a serious note, there's lots of Aunt Ruths out there. And if she's asking, I know that there's thousands, no, probably millions of you, whether you're 75 and cantankerous like Aunt Ruth or whether you're otherwise, that are asking some of the same things. So I guess I'm going to have to get to some of her voicemails and get some answers. So if you guys can bear with me, that's what I'm going to do. So she's like she just said, what is this AI thing? Well, the basic answer is AI, or artificial intelligence, is kind of what we have looked at as a category of computer programs that learn and make decisions based on information that is put into them. So you put in a large amount of information. If you think about it, it's almost like a calculator for words, because a calculator or a compute, when we first started having computers and calculators that did numbers, you would put lots of numbers in and tell it, add all of these numbers together, right? You could do a spreadsheet and grab a list of numbers and have it calculate something with these numbers. So if you think about it, AI is like a calculator for words, for pictures, for videos, for information on the whole. And it then it learns, but the way it learns basically is large language models, or you'll see LLMs. Those large language models are like a repository of lots of words, like a whole bunch of words all in one place. And those words all come together so that and the way it learns from it is kind of like predictive text on your phone. So if you have ever been on your phone and you started texting somebody and the next word that it thinks you're going to write comes up in the little suggestions, if you've done that, you've used AI, because AI is what does that. It learns from the patterns in the words. So it calculates the patterns of the words so that it learns that when you say, show me your, okay, another word that might come after that is nuts. That may not be the most common one, though. So it's going to come up with what's the most common next word when someone's talking about that. And when you give it a large amount of information and it takes all of the information together that everybody's put into it, it learns all these patterns, which is good and bad. It can be problematic, and I'll get to that later. But it's on the basic, it's AI is a sets of computer programs that learn and make decisions, kind of like a smart assistant. And you really actually already use it for things, like I said, predictive text, autocorrect, things like SIR, and I'm going to have to spell their names because they're listening to me sometimes. So I'm going to have to spell some names because I don't want to have to hear from them too. I already got Aunt Ruth on the line. SIRI and ALEXA, if you use them, they use artificial intelligence to do things. They have for longer than you've known that. They've used this large language model and predictive whatever. It's like Google on steroids, really, if you think about it. Even something like Netflix or Amazon Prime show suggestions. So show suggestions on your television or in your search feed or in your Facebook thread, the shopping suggestions, all of those things, all the things like that is it learns from the data from your behavior patterns. And it has been doing this for a long time. And it has to do with the program is there. The platform that you're in chose to use this large language model to learn things. And it's not necessarily malicious to harm you. It is, however, to figure out your specific behavior so that they can send more things to you that you might like. For example, I end up on a website that brings in Temu ads, and it knows my computer and it knows to send me Temu ads that have certain things. And it may have Temu ads that have squirrels. I'll show you an example of something that happened because of a Temu ad about the squirrels. So here's my little squirrel. And the Temu ad that happened is my squirrel now has his own little tent. So I like props. Okay, give me a break. The Temu ad knew I liked squirrels, and it knew it knew I was looking at like little miniaturized things. And sure enough, then it shows me that. You've had that happen, right? But if you think about it, AI in general, it's like a tool, like a calculator for thinking tasks. An analogy could be a library assistant that read all the books in the library and can answer all of your questions. Not just like Google, but it knows how to reason and think about what is the next possible word in the thought and come up with things. It's not reading our mind, however, and it's not in here. It's not in our unconscious and conscious mind yet. It does read our behavior patterns based on our interactions with devices, but it's not in here. And it's not taken over the world either, people. Let's get through that a little bit. So if you bear with me, I'm going to go find out what some of these other voicemails are that she left, because she left a bunch. Hello.
Oh, Stacy girl. It's your Aunt Ruth. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little scared of that AI. I have heard it's going to take people's jobs away, steal our information. You know I have a lot of secrets. And maybe even take over the world. Should I be worried? What's real and what's just Hollywood glamour?
Well, if anybody'd know about Hollywood glamour, it's going to be her. Okay, then should she be afraid of AI, real versus Hollywood? So let's think about it. Fiction. AI is taking over the world. And I'm going to say no. And no, because humans are what's behind any AI. And it's humans' use of the thing, good or bad, that is going to be good or bad in the situation. It's always been the case with our tools. It's how humans use tools is what makes it good or bad. It's whether we throw the rock at the person or whether we throw the rock in the pond so it splashes. The real part of that, though, is privacy concerns and data. Yes, we always, always, always want to be careful with our private data. Anyone, including yours truly here, can be hacked. Just this week, as a family, our household had an account hacked by a password that ended up somewhere, and they got $100 worth of food delivery before we had a chance to fix it. What was good was we figured it out very quickly, and we changed all the passwords. And that comes from somebody who knows to keep their passwords changed a lot, right? We're all potential victims of that kind of thing. And that's where I say human maliciousness is what did it. Human maliciousness is what caused that issue. So yes, privacy concerns with data is real. AI replacing humans. It's not at this point in time possible to replace us. There are 8.2 billion of us on the world that each have different internal representations of our world, different things in our brain and how it works. And each of those is different, and the AI can't get fully into there. So it doesn't have all of the information in the 8.2 billion. It's not in that large language model. It's not in the AI, and it can't be. Therefore, it cannot replace us at this moment. That's a simplified version of the reasons I think it's not going to replace us, but that's definitely I don't feel like it will replace us. I actually feel like AI is a tool for us to up-level ourselves. And that also connects to the real answer here. The real answer is, yeah, some jobs are going to change. And when I say change, other people may use the word lost. Jobs will be lost, but jobs have been gained and lost over time forever. I don't think if any of you know somebody who for a living, for their entire life, has chipped away words in stone to be read by massive numbers of people, that was not a grave marker. Okay, I am going to put a caveat there, because yes, people do still chip words in stone for grave markers, for markers on buildings, for art, for different things. But it is no longer a full-time job of lots of people to create stone tablets for us to read off of all of our information. That job morphed and changed. It morphed into people writing with ink of whatever kind on paper of whatever kind. It went from there to the printing press. Scribes lost their job because of the printing press. Newspapers came along and digital printing came along, and it has morphed and changed. And there's still printed information mass produced and sent to people. So even things like people who produce, say, a magazine or books or even newspapers themselves, they're not gone. So my answer to that is video did not kill the radio star. MTV played that as the first video saying, hey, we're going to change the way music is taken in and experienced. And they did. Now, the funny thing is music videos are still a thing, but radio is still a thing, and MTV no longer still a thing. So there you go. So what to think about and what to watch about that is look at using known companies, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. Use known companies because just this last week, there was a thing with a thing called Claude, CLAWD bot, BOT, that people thought was connected to Perplexity. And there was a whole thing about it. And people got scammed. Lots of people got super, super scammed, not from the people who created Claude bot, but from some people who used that and went on and did some malicious shit. So people got jacked up. Chemical Soup TV, good to see you back. Good to see you here. So Claude, that thing that happened, it was an unknown company, but people thought it was known. So do your due diligence. I was just in a webinar yesterday with the amazing Molly Mahoney. I'm going to tag her in this so that she knows I gave her a shout out. If you don't know who Molly Mahoney is, oh my God, brilliant, brilliant woman. And I'm working on getting her on the show. So she was talking about this Claude thing that happened. I had already heard of it, but I heard more from her. And like she was saying, do your due diligence, look the things up. Critical thinking is important with everything. Excuse me. Okay. Critical thinking is important in all the things we do, whether it's AI or otherwise. So don't share your sensitive information. Don't share social security numbers, passwords, bank details. You don't want to share those. You want to be careful where you share that anyway, and be very careful where you share it. That's always been the case. It's always going to be the case if you don't want your shit stolen. And lastly, AI does make mistakes. Sometimes they're called AI hallucinations. It's thinking about what that next potential common word is, or that next concept, or what the things are together. If you think about it, your answers that you get from AI are only as good as the prompt you put in it. So what that means is the answers you get from an AI are only as good as the information you put in. So in the technology world, and I'll use a little bit of jargon, but I'm going to couch it here with, it's called garbage in, garbage out. Another example could be if you accidentally put salt in your cake batter instead of sugar, that's going to taste nasty. But it's because you put the wrong thing in that you get the wrong thing out. Okay. Learning how to do a good prompt in AI is directly connected to learning how to do a good search in Google. So let's do some history here. Back before AI, we'd say, oh, go Google that. Now we say GPT that. And before that, it would be go to the library and look it up in and I'm going to age myself, look it up in the card catalog. And doing a good search in a library with a card catalog is the same skill as doing a good Google search. Doing a good search in the card catalog, doing a good Google search is the same as doing a good prompt. All of those are connected to critical thinking and logical thinking and how you put questions together. And all of those are things that we all should have. Whether we did or not, it's another totally different show. Critical thinking skills. So you've got to develop, you may have to work on a muscle that you might not have ever worked, or you may not have worked in a long time, because it might have been a long time since you did a research paper and you did some reps in the card catalogs. So AI can make mistakes and hallucinations because it doesn't process information the exact same way we do. It's predictive. Predominantly, it's predictive in different algorithms of how the information is put back out based on the information you put in. So one, you've got to put good stuff in to get good stuff out. And you also want to double check. Again, due diligence, but this is on the back end, double check what the output is. Always double check it, just like you double check anything. You might double check your best friend when they give you an answer for some shit, right? You might got to be careful with that one, but you might, double check when your friend gives you the answer to something. So let's see what else Aunt Ruth said. Hello.
Oh, Stacy girl, it's Aunt Ruth again. I forgot to tell you, my friend told me that if I use AI, they will have all my personal information and they'll use it against me. Is that true? How do I know if something is safe to use? I'm so confused. Help me out. It's your Aunt Ruth. See you soon. Bye.
That woman and her friends, I swear, this gossipy, my friend said this, and oh my God, the world's going to end. And yeah, her friends get her all kinds of riled up all the damn time. So, will AI steal my information? We're going to say this. I'm going to repeat myself here and there today, but in different contexts. AI isn't what's going to steal the information. It's whoever's behind owning that particular set of information. And you do have to be careful about what information you put where. If you think about it, that's the case with a lot of things. It has, and it always has been. Again, I want to try and bring this and relate it back. If you give information to, let's say you're in, a classroom and you get up and you tell a story about yourself, that information is then given to the other humans in the room and it could be used for or against. If you put information out into the world, always, but if you think about the last 20 to 30 years or 20 some years, I can't think how long it is. We've kind of been using Facebook and social medias and stuff like that. When you put stuff out there, it's out in the world. Once you put things in the internet, it's out in the world. But that's no different than once you write something down and have it on a piece of paper. The difference is who has access to that piece of paper. Somebody may not have as much access to the piece of paper because it's in one place and it stays there. Whereas if you write something down on a piece of paper and you make photocopies of it and you pass it out to friends or you pass it out to places, you don't know where that goes. You have no way to know for sure where that ends up. Or if you wad up a piece of paper and throw it in the trash, you don't know where that information ends up. And it's a similar concept, but maybe that it's happened faster and more people may have access to the things and you don't know who has access to the things. So safe things, safety first. We're always going to say safety first. Guts to make sure you have safe AI, kind of like having safe sex. All right. So safe to share. General questions about things. Recipes are amazing in AI. We'll get back to that. And learning things, learning topics. Asking general questions, asking about things, playing games with it, learning fun things like that. Those are general learning topics. Things to never share. Don't share your social security number. Oh my God, Aunt Ruth, do not share your social security number there or anywhere else. Call me when something needs to like that. Oh God, call me first. If somebody's asking for your social security number on the telephone, hang up on that sucker and call me. Hang up and call me. If you're not my Aunt Ruth, please don't call. I can't take that many phone calls. Although you can make a consultation appointment. Go ahead and book one of those if you want. The link's in the description below. If you want to book a consultation and look at doing some consulting with me about this, I'm happy to do that. Social security numbers, passwords, credit cards, medical records. Don't share those things. And for the love of all things freaking holy in the world, don't use your dog's name for a password. Don't use your best friend in high school. Do not use your freaking birthday as a password. Don't use things that people can figure out easily. Use a password generator LastPass, Dashlane, there's lots of them out there. Use something that generates a secure password every time for everything, and don't use the same password over and over. And for the second love of things holy, don't put the password into the AI. Again, sticking with regular companies that you know of, not things that you don't know. Do your due diligence. And rule of thumb, if you wouldn't tell a stranger at the grocery store, don't tell AI. Even though, yes, Aunt Ruth. Okay, even though I know that sometimes she gets chatty in the grocery store line and about all sorts, she'll tell you about all sorts of things in the grocery store line, especially depending on if she's been in the liquor department lately. So be careful, you know. Yeah, Aunt Ruth is yeah, be real careful. So let's find out what else she had to ask. I don't know how many of these I'm going to get to today. She left me so many voice messages. You just wouldn't believe. I might have to do an extra bonus episode in between now and next week just to answer the rest of them. Hello.
Hey, honey, it's Aunt Ruth again. Okay, so say I'm willing to try this AI thing. Where do I even start? What do I need to buy? Do I need to download something? Downloading. Oh, I don't want to accidentally break my computer or get a virus. Help your auntie out. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Where do you start? That's a fair question. I mean, anytime we think of, so we're kind of looking at that awakening. She's awakening to possibly changing something, and now she's thinking about it. And knowing where to start when you want to change something is always a challenge. I don't care what it is. So where to start? Let's look at picking one. Let's look at 3 options. First option, use what you have. If you have an iPhone, talk to Siri. If you're an Android person, use Google Assistant. Second option, try ChatGPT, the free version. Go to chat.openai.com, sign up with your email, and ask a question. Don't put your personal information in, just ask a question, Aunt Ruth. Ask a question like, what happens when you add peanut butter whiskey to Diet Coke? I don't know. I don't even know the answer to that question. Although I'm not, well, I know what happens when you drink that. And actually, it's peanut butter whiskey, Diet Dr. Pepper, and chocolate, but that's a whole different show as well. But go to ChatGPT for the free version and ask a question. Sign up with an email and ask questions. I'll give you some other ideas in a minute about that too. Option number 3, try Google Gemini. You go to gemini.google.com, or if you're already in Google and you're typing in a question in Google when you've Googled something, look for the little button, the little item at the top where it says AI mode. After you've done your Google thing, click the AI mode and see what happens. It's going to put you into a chat with your question with its answers. So it's going to take your question and what it already gave you as a Google search, and then it's going to go deeper in AI mode, and you're basically chatting with the internets about your question. It's kind of like asking follow-up questions to your original question. Ask anything in those, except Aunt Ruth, don't ask it questions about, be careful what questions you ask it about sex. Please be careful. You're not going to break anything, but there's just some things you want to be careful how you ask. You don't want it to think that you're doing anything. That's it could be a legal issue. You need to be careful. Okay? But you won't break anything. Think about it like this. It's like using Google, but smarter. So let's go see what her next question is. Hello.
Hey, Stacy girl, it's your Aunt Ruth again. I keep hearing people talking about Chat GPT and Alexa and Siri. Are those all AI? I bet you know. I can't figure it out. And if they are all AI, which one should I use? I don't want to boggle my mind with 5 different things. Oh, this is so confusing. Help your auntie out. Love you. Bye.
All right. So I know we kind of already went over this, so I'm going to make this one quick. Alexa, SIRI, yes, those are both AI-based voice tools. So it's voice tools that use AI in the background. Which one to use? Use which phone you have. SIRI is on your iPhone. Google Assistant is on your Android phone, and you can access it on your iPhone. So iPhone users, you get bonus. You get the double thing. Alexa, this requires a separate device. So it's either a device that you buy and you can use in your house. They run about $300 to $100 for a home control device. Or you can, if you have an Amazon TV, there's a button on your remote where you can use Alexa. So you can use those through there. Chat GPT and Gemini, those are free websites. They also have paid plans. There's lots of different paid plans and things. There's lots of different things. You can pay lots of things for lots of ones. Be really careful. Number one, use the ones who are known. If you get a paid plan with them, that's okay. But like, use the known ones. Don't get stuck in the issue like that Claude bot, CLAWD bot, BOT, because that was, people got scammed, and there are scams out there, and the scams are human. They're not AI. I'm going to harp that till cows come home. Scams are done by humans, not by the AI itself. ChatGPT and Gemini are, like I said, they're free websites that also have paid plans. They're really good for detailed answers and learning. So recommendation is to start with ChatGPT or Gemini on your phone, on your browser, or on a computer. You don't have to have a download, and it works anywhere. So let's go see what she got next. Hello.
Stacy girl, it's your Aunt Ruth. Listen, I'm in a quandary over here. I have another question for you. What can AI actually do for someone like me? I'm not running a business or writing a book or anything. I just want to stay connected with my family and, manage my healthcare appointments and maybe order some booze and stuff like that. Maybe learn some new things. Can AI help me with all that? I'm in a quandary. I need your help. Love you. Bye.
Of course, Aunt Ruth wants to order her booze through AI. Oh, this could get scary, folks. I'll have to let you know what happens. I'll let you know what she says next. I'll find out. I might have to talk to her about putting some caps on some of them credit cards. Because if she's anyway, enough of that. Real uses for everyday life. Health. Amazing uses, Aunt Ruth, for health. Medication reminders. You can say, hey, SIRI, remind me to take my medicine at 10 a.m. Or exercise suggestions. Hey, Alexa, give me a playlist to do my exercises to. Explaining doctor's instructions. Going to Google, just like Google, but also looking at that Gemini or AI mode. Copy the doctor's instructions in and say, I don't understand this. And then copy the doctor's instructions in there and see if it gives you a better way to understand it. And if it still doesn't, say, ask it questions. And so it's like having a conversation with a brainstormer or a brainstorming device or another brain about the thing. So explaining your doctor's directions. Hey, The doctor said to do this, this, and this. I don't understand that. What should I do? Or he said to walk on the treadmill every day for a week, and I don't have a treadmill. What else can I do? So it's a way to like make a different suggestion when you have something that you're trying to figure out. Or what happens, I just took this medicine with my supplement, and I kind of had a hot toddy before that. What could happen? And Aunt Ruth, I want you to hear me here. Asking it, you accidentally took your medicine after you've been drinking, okay? And you know better. Most of the time, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV, but damn it, stop taking the medicine while you're drinking and talk to the doctor about that. But if you need a recipe for a good drink that's with peanut butter whiskey, and you have all these spices or this and that and the third and something else in the cabinet, or what kind of mixers you got, it's good with recipes. So I guess that's all right. It's great for connection. You're talking about your grandkids, and you should be talking about and to your grandkids. Writing birthday messages. You can get even more funnier things than you already write, woman. You write the most hilarious birthday cards, but take what you're going to write to the person, and you can talk to the chat GPTs too. There's usually a little microphone button, and if you click it, you can talk to it and tell it what you're thinking first. So tell it what you're going to tell Johnny when you write his birthday card out, and say, give me something funny for an 8-year-old about fishing and playing dominoes and watching his favorite TV show. I don't even know what his favorite TV show is. What do 7-year-olds like? 7-year-old boys. And then see what it tells you. And then if you don't like what it tells you, say, no, I didn't like that. Give me something else. Or no, I forgot to say that he also loves the color red. So you can, it'll zhuzh it up for you. So if you think about it like a brainstorming assistant or an author for those fun cards you send, video call help, conversation starters. Hey, I'm going to go play bridge on Sunday, and these ladies do not talk about anything except gossipy. Give me something to help like move the conversation a different way. Because maybe it'll help those gals you play bridge with, because they're a little much sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And then, and maybe it'll wake that gal Lucy up that you keep talking about, like the one that falls asleep all the time. Maybe it'll help her, or maybe you can get ideas about how to help keep her awake. Recipe ideas, stain removal tips. I just spilled my coffee on my favorite silk blouse. What the F do I do? Maybe it'll, give you some tips, and, it's like, I can't get to the grocery store to buy this or that. I've got this, and this in the house. What will work? What will help? Think of it's like Google, but better. And by better, I mean, you can tell it what you have in the house and ask it what you can do with it. Don't be making don't ask it about making bombs though, or hurting people. I know you don't like that one neighbor of yours, but don't do that, please. Don't do that. There's a line. There's a line, Aunt Ruth. You can manage appointment reminders, directions, important dates. Put all your everybody's birthdays in there so that you remember them. You could ask it the weather. You could think about it like a history book. You could learn local history or get trip planning suggestions. Hey, my girlfriends and I want to go on a day trip. This is where we live. What's out there that we don't know about? Book suggestions. I love books on blah, blah, blah. What's another author? It's a different way to Google. Okay. So I'm going to look in the chat. I am watching the chat. Thank you, Sang. So I'm sure there's more Post-it notes everywhere now. Sang's got the Post-it notes flying. Aunt Ruth, would you call her for me about the the neighbor thing because I'm really worried she's gonna do something with that dude. She doesn't like him. And then, thank you. You're welcome that I'm talking about it. And Destiny Charmed Divination. Yeah, Aunt Ruth is a trip and a half. Chemical Soup TV. Free stuff equals your private data sold against that. Yeah. When people say, "Oh, you can get this for free, just give me your blah blah blah." Yeah, it's a thing. It's a real thing. Sang also says, "Love me some Aunt Ruth," because she had an Aunt Ruby. Yeah, yeah. Aunt Ruth is quite the trip, as you can tell from the lessons that she's got with us so far. Let's see what else she's got, because I know that she left me she blew my phone up, y'all. She blew my phone up. I don't even know which one. Let me see which one's next here. Oh, here, this will be a good one. Hello.
Hey, Stacy girl, it's your Aunt Ruth. Now listen, what can AI actually do for someone like me? I've had a couple, and I'm not always myself half the time, but you know me, I'm not writing a book or running a business, or I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to stay connected with my family and manage my healthcare appointments and maybe learn a few new things. But can AI really help with that? You gotta help me out, girl. Okay, I love you. Bye.
All right, Aunt Ruth. Yeah, you're not changing. You're just adding options. Keep your planner. Keep that planner right there. AI just reminds you before you forget. Keep calling your friends. AI just helps you remember their birthdays and write those funny cards even funnier. Keep your recipes. For God's sake, keep your recipes. Some of them are really good. AI just suggests substitutions when you can't get to the grocery store. Or when you want to go, hey, I want to see what happens. Just don't add the salt to the cake mix again, all right? That was nasty. You can tell it what you have in the cabinet and have it suggest new recipes. Real talk. It helps you understand your grandkids' world. It helps you understand what they're doing, what's for reals. And when they're talking about stuff, like you'll have some lingo for them even. It keeps you independent longer, which it helps all of us out sometimes. It gives you more tools in your toolbox. It's not going to replace who you are. For God's sake, nothing can do that. Let's see what else you got. Hello.
Hey, Stacy girl. Oh, I'm so frustrated. My grandson Bubba, you know, your cousin, he keeps telling me to just Google it, Granny, or just ask AI. But honestly, I don't even know what questions to ask. How do I know what to ask this AI thing? I'm all flabbergasted over here, helping me out. What do you know? What do you know about it? How do I do this? Help! Love you. Bye.
Bubba is such a pain in the ass. All right. So here's some ideas for some question starters, Aunt Ruth. And I know once you get going, you won't need my help at all. Here's an example. Explain blank in simple terms. Insert whatever you want. Well, be careful, Aunt Ruth. Don't ask about the sex thing again. Explain blank in simple terms. How do I blank? How do I do this task? Help me plan an event, a trip, a party. So help me plan blah, 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 and tell it what you already have in your mind, and then have it help you. Help me plan a party for my best friend who lives downstairs. This is what we got that we can do. Like that you and what's her name, Mary Jo down the hall. What is it you two have in your apartments that you can do together to have this party for somebody? help you write a letter, an email, a card. You can try these now. Things like, what are easy ways to stay active in the wintertime? This is what I have in my house. What can I do? What are good gifts for a 10-year-old who likes science? Think about Bubba's daughter. She's so smart. I don't know how she got so smart. Not with Bubba. Anyway. What are good gifts for a 10-year-old who likes science? Or explain how to use FaceTime. Or explain how to use ChatGPT. You can actually ask it to teach you how to do the thing. So, pro tip. Let's say you're asking it questions and you're going along and it gives you something where you're like, that's just as freaking confusing as everything else. Now I'm more confused. Ask it to explain that more simply. Just say, explain that one to me like you did on the phone earlier. Explain that to me like I'm, well, your Aunt Ruth. You might put explain that more simply because I'm Aunt Ruth and I don't understand things the same way. Whatever it is that works. And I know you'll come back and tell me what happens. We'll get there again. Hello.
You know, Stacy girl, I'm starting to realize that maybe my hesitation, my resistance to AI isn't really about the technology. I mean, we've been using technology since they invented the wheel. No, it's about feeling left behind or looking stupid. Is that what you mean by awakening? Seeing what's really holding me back because I can't figure it out. I need your help, Stacy girl. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Yep. Your resistance isn't about the technology. You finally got that one. The resistance is about feeling left out, feeling left behind, feeling like everybody else in the world's talking about this thing and I'm not. Feeling about being left behind and like they're all doing the thing and nobody's talking to me anymore because I don't know how to do the thing. Or just feeling like I don't belong because I'm not with the cool kids or whatever it is. You know, the things that get in our way when we want to change anything in our life, one of the big things is fear of looking stupid. And I'm going to use that word. A friend of mine would have me put money in a tip jar or a swear jar because I used the word stupid. And I agree. It's not a good word to use, but I'm going to use it in this case because it describes what somebody deals with. Fear of looking stupid. And the reality of it is AI doesn't judge. So you can't look stupid to the AI. So that's kind of a cool thing. You can't look stupid to it. It's going to say you're brilliant. If anything, it's going to say, oh, you did this and this. And oh my God, that's brilliant. It actually tells you that a lot. Take it, let it tell you that, especially because it might help you feel better. But AI doesn't judge. So you're not going to look stupid. The fear of being left behind. There are millions and millions learning it right now. It's still new to most of the planet. So you're right there in the thick of the learning. Everybody's learning it. And guess what? It changes all the time. And so even though those of us who might have been using it for a while, we're still learning too. I learn new things every single day about what to do with AI. I was just in a group the other night and we were chit-chatting and goofing around and we ended up, if anybody remembers Mad Libs, we ended up creating this fun Mad Lib kind of thing where somebody asked for a word of different kinds of words and then they put it in and they put their own spin with it and we ended up with a hilarious poem. Who knew that something could bring together the thoughts of 5 or 6 or so people and put it in and turn it into something completely different? What if you're doing a collaborative project with somebody and you want to, like I said, you and Mary Jo want to do that party for the guy downstairs? Put in what you want to do and see what it comes up with. Though again, be careful of what questions you ask Aunt Ruth, please. Fear of losing your independence. Tools have always been out there to make people more independent and being able to do things for yourself longer. Think of tools as ways to get better, get smarter, stay independent longer, stay connected. Remember, I taught Pappy how to use a computer while I was on the telephone in between appointments. I was on the telephone in between appointments in the car, teaching him how to use the computer to stay connected with his war buddies so that he wasn't lonely, so that he could stay connected with them, and so that he didn't get more depressed. So that tool, and at that time, it's connected to this. That time I was teaching him how to use something that kept him from being depressed. Our mental wellness is important. And being connected to people is important. And these tools are ways that we can be even more and more connected to each other. And the tools always need to be used for connection and human good. If all of the humans used all of the tools for connection and human good, in other words, do no harm, and we never used it for bad, or for harm, rather, we were intentional and didn't use it for harm on purpose, then this world could be a better place. The fear we have is because we have experienced humans using things for bad and for harm. That's the reason we have the fear. It's not because the tool is going to hurt us. Now, that's not to say that fire can't hurt us. If fire gets onto fire was our first tool, by the way. And yeah, you get fire in the wrong place, and then you've got to mitigate that because it could harm us. But the printing press isn't necessarily going to harm us unless it is used for evil or used for harm. And that is the human using it for harm, not the press itself. Press itself didn't give a shit. And then pride, well, asking for help is strength. It's one of the most courageous things that an individual can do. We've talked about that on this show before. You've heard me talk about it. So this is awakening, seeing what really holds you back, that it's the fear, not the technology. And like I said earlier, you can't change what you don't see. And now that you see it, you can work with it. All right, I'm going to try and get, I think, I got 2 more calls from her. I'm going over this morning. We're going to have a longer show because I gotta answer the rest of these or she's going to blow my phone up for the next week. I'm telling you. Hello.
Say I decided I want to learn about AI. I'm not saying I do, but what if I did? That I desire to change my relationship with technology. What's the one thing I should do this week? Just this week, just one. I just don't want to get overwhelmed. I'm already overwhelmed. Help me out, Stacy girl. What do you think? Talk to you soon. Bye.
Hey, Sang, can you get Aunt Ruth? Could you send Aunt Ruth a couple packages of sticky notes? Because I think she's going to need them for this. She said pick one thing. And you know me, I can't just say one thing. So I'm going to have to say a couple. But if she's got a pad of sticky notes, she can write one on each one, and then she can go one by one. That makes it a little easier. So everybody get your sticky notes out to write each of these things. And I'm going to go fast, but you can hit rewind on the replay and get them. Okay. All right. Pick one thing. out of my list here. The 5-minute test. Go to chat.openai.com or gemini.google.com and ask one question you're curious about. Check. There's one sticky note. Next sticky note, phone challenge. Ask, hey, SIRI, and say her name. Yeah, because she's going to answer me if I say it. Or, hey, Google, and ask, what's the weather? Now, try this 3 times in the week. Different times. Maybe put yourself a sticky note and say, on Monday, ask about the weather. On Tuesday night, ask about the weather. And on Thursday, ask about the weather. Try it 3 times this week. Or even without the sticky notes, you can do that one straight from bed in your comfy chair without even opening your eyes. I use Alexa without even opening my eyes because she's right there above my head. And I don't want to lift my phone up and look at it to change my alarm, because then the light on the phone is going to wake me up even more. As a matter of fact, opening my eyes is going to wake me up even more, and I really just want to hit snooze. So I say, hey, Alexa, set an alarm for da-da-da-da, and I give it so many minutes. And it's kind of like back in the day, remember, I would always say, but Mom, I want 15 minutes more sleep, because I wanted sleep. And sure enough, Alexa just answered me. Just a minute, please. Alexa, stop. She does every time. I told you I needed to spell her name because she was going to answer. Anyway, you can do all that without even opening your eyes, and it is amazing. Because like we talked about a couple weeks ago when we were talking about activating your brain at 2 a.m., yeah, you don't want to do that. Use the, and yeah, I call mine names. Use the pitch. Use the pitch. Have her set an alarm for you for 15 more minutes. All right, next sticky note. Saying, can you pass around the sticky notes, please? You are, thank you. Learning buddy. Ask your grandkid to show you their favorite AI tool. Ask Bubba's daughter, that really smart one, ask her to show you her favorite AI tool and let her teach you. For one, she's going to get a kick out of teaching Granny something. And you're going to be able to spend time with her, and you're going to be able to see how smart she is, and you're going to be able to like find out what she's interested in. So when you send her next birthday card or birthday gift, you're going to have an idea, and you're going to learn something about an AI tool. I think that one's a win-win-win, or, if Mary Jo's son, isn't he the one that's the computer scientist dude? If he's like told her about a good tool to use, ask her what one she uses, and you guys could share tools. Oh man, you guys are all going to be crazy by the time next time I'm over, there's going to be all of y'all talking to all your phones. You're going to be like a room of teenagers. All right. And the last one, join office hours. I have tech office hours every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central in the Quantum Quaff, quantumquaff.com. You can get free tech help with the Squirrel Wrangler. No judgment, just support. Now, the rule for this activity is that you pick just one thing. You pick one of the things I gave you. The 5-minute test, asking one question. The phone challenge, asking about the weather 3 times. The learning buddy, or come to office hours. Pick one thing and come. Today's office hours, 1 p.m. Central, quantumquaff.com. Come see me. Get tech help, no judgment, just support. And the rule in the Quantum Quaff is do no harm, so that ain't happening there either. Pick one thing. No overwhelm. Progress equals one small step. It's not just what Armstrong said when he got on the moon. Okay? All right, I think there's one more call from her, and then I can erase these because she'll call again. Hello?
Hi, Stacy girl. It's your Aunt Ruth. I got one other question for you. What if you could tell every senior watching right now one thing about AI that would make them less scared, and more curious, what would it be? Because, I got friends over here and they're in the same pickle I'm in. And, we get pickled all the time. No, seriously, though, what would you tell every senior watching right now? One thing that would make them less scared and more curious about your AI, or any AI for that matter. All right, hit me back. I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.
And she left that one early in the morning, and I think she and the girls had been playing bridge and getting pickled, I think. Anyway, I can't even imagine this. I just hang on. I'm having pictures of the bridge girls because when they're getting pickled, they smoke more too, and she was probably smoking. All right. All right. One thing to make you guys less scared. Here's the truth. Bottom line. AI is not smarter than you. It's just faster at looking things up. You've got 70 plus years of wisdom and common sense. AI's got zilch in the life experience. It just reads freaking fast. It just reads really fast. It doesn't have any life experience like you have. We might have to worry about it if it did, now that I think about that. But no life experience, so it's not the same. It just reads really fast. AI gives information. You decide what to do with it. Just like, when y'all are gossipy, and that one group of gals that you used to play bridge with, and they were so gossipy, and then, it would upset you. And I kept saying, let them do their thing. Let them run their mouth. You decide what to do with the information. This is the same deal. AI gives you the information. You've asked it a question. It gives you information. You decide to take it, leave it, dump it, lump it, throw it out, hit delete. You don't have to do anything with it. So, it's still your decision. Now, AI also doesn't have your judgment, which is occasionally questionable, your values, which are, for the most part, pretty damn solid, and it certainly doesn't have your heart. AI doesn't have a heart at all. It doesn't give a shit. It's just processing information. So it doesn't have your values or your heart. You're learning AI so that you can stay you, staying connected to the grandkids' world, keeping your independence longer, satisfying your natural curiosity, which should never retire. We need to all go into our last sleep just as curious as we came out from the first when we got here. Curiosity should never die. It's one of the most beautiful things about this experience on this planet. Although I will say I'm going to have to take a nap after this because that was a lot. I love you, Aunt Ruth, and I hope that I gave you good information today. Sang's going to put some sticky notes in the mail to you so that you can write all the things down because, she's not, she's not sharing her sticky notes. You don't get the pink ones unless she can find some pink ones for you. But we know you like purple, so maybe she'll send you purple ones. And maybe she'll find some with some little, maybe she'll find some with like, I don't know, highball glasses on them or something. We'll see. We'll see. I'll see. Maybe she and I'll go shopping. We'll try and find you some sticky notes. So the secret. People who are good at AI, quote unquote, just tried it once and kept going. That's literally all it is they tried it once, then they tried something else, then they tried something else, then they tried something else. Now, I also think people who are really good at it are also ones who are really good at writing good questions for the Googles. And they were ones who learned on a card catalog how to look up good stuff and how to do good searches. If you don't know how to do those things, if you don't know how to do searches and you don't know how to do, when you do Google, you get stuff and you're like all confused and it's not what you want, come to office hours. Come by the bar for office hours this afternoon. Alice is bartending and I can help you with AI, the searches, or whatever tech you've got going on. My sweet spot is helping people with the anxiety about technology and about change. And that's kind of what I'm here for. Every expert in any field doing anything was once a beginner who felt like you do right now, who didn't know anything about the thing. The way you learn about the thing is doing the thing, learning and putting yourself into the thing. That actually leads me to one thing that I think is so cool about this computer right here. So this computer and AI has lots of information and it processes lots of things and it's really, it has come a long way, baby, right? But this one right here can decide to change and can decide to learn something new. I'm going to pick on my friend Sang again. She recently said, "Hey, I'm going to learn how to play the piano." And I don't know for sure if it's the first time she's learned or if she's coming back to learning. That part doesn't even matter. It's that her brain decided, I'm going to learn how to do this for fun. I'm going to teach myself something new for fun. This one right here in front of you decided it wants to learn how to make homemade yogurt and homemade kefir, water kefir and milk kefir to make it at home so I know what's in it. So what did I do? I went to the chat GPTs and I said, this and this and this is what I got in the house. What's going to be the best of those things to make the thickest, best Greek yogurt I can? And I went through quite a few different iterations before I came up with the first one I tried. And then the second one and the third one. I'm on like the fourth batch. Okay. Don't throw shade. It gets better every time I've made it. Well, this last batch sucked, but I'm hoping the next batch is even better. Taught myself something, I used this thing right here to teach this thing right here, something new, because I wanted to, just because I wanted to. So the promise is also, you do not have to be an expert in anything. You don't have to be an expert in AI. Just try one small thing. And I'll be here every Thursday to help. I'll be here and Show Me Your Nuts to talk about change and tech and mental wellness. And I'll be in office hours every Thursday afternoon over in the bar. Like I said, Alice is bartending and I'm handing out stuff. So Aunt Ruth, thanks for the questions. And thank you everybody else for helping me today. It's not exactly what I planned on talking about, but well, at least I took care of her having blown up my phone. So thank you for helping me with that. Thank you, Sang, for passing out the sticky notes to others and sharing them with everybody. Remember, this is week 4 of the awakening. Next week will be week 5, and then there'll be week 6, and that'll be the end of our first series. This is awakening, and you're opening your eyes to tech possibilities. Keep opening them more and more. Keep being curious about more and more of what you can do with that tech. You can't change what you don't see, can't experience, don't feel, don't smell, don't taste. And you saw today a little bit that AI isn't always the scary monster under the bed that you thought it was. Your homework this week is to pick one thing from Aunt Ruth's list. Just try it. just one. And that, my friends, is your awakening in action. Next week, I'll be back with episode 5, putting it all together, your personal action plan. And we're going to talk about everything from weeks 1 to 4 and create your map forward. And come join me in the bar. Bring your squirrels and we'll wrangle them together. Until next Thursday, keep wrangling those squirrels. And remember, if you don't remember your tomorrow, you will not have the right formula and you will miss out on your today. This is Stacy Braiuca, the Squirrel Wrangler. And this has been Show Me Your Nuts. I'll see you next week.
Thank you for joining us on this nutty adventure. Remember, personal growth and wellness are journeys best taken together. Keep exploring, keep growing, and don't forget to show me your nuts next time.